So we are going to study about radiation biophysics. Radiation biophysics is the study of interactions between ionizing radiation and the biological system. Basically, this field combines principles of biology, physics, and chemistry to understand that how different types of radiation affects living tissues, cells, and molecules, especially DNA. Talking about types of radiation, radiation can broadly be categorized into two types based on its energy and the way it interacts with matter. First, ionizing radiation, and second, non-ionizing radiation. Ionizing radiation, it is the type of radiation that has enough energy to ionize atoms and molecules by removing tightly bound electrons. Ionizing radiation is the primary focus in fields such as medical imaging, radiation therapy, and nuclear physics. It consists of alpha particles, that is 2 protons and 2 neutrons. It is highly ionizing but have low penetration, that can be stopped by a sheet of paper or skin. Then the second one is beta particles. It consists of electrons, that is beta negative, or positrons, that is beta positive. It can penetrate a few millimeters into tissue but are stopped by materials like plastic or thin sheet of metal. Then the third one is gamma rays. It is high energy electromagnetic radiations with no mass or charge. It is very penetrating and requires dense materials like lead or several centimeters of concrete for shielding. It is commonly emitted during radioactive decay and used in medical imaging and cancer therapy. Then X-rays. Electromagnetic radiation similar to gamma rays but typically lower in energy. It is commonly used in medical imaging like X-rays and CT scans and can penetrate soft tissues but are absorbed by denser materials like bones. Then talking about non-ionizing radiation, this type of radiation does not have enough energy to ionize atoms, but it can still cause excitations of electrons and molecular vibration, leading to potential biological effects such as heating or photochemical reactions. It consists of UV rays, that is, higher energy non-ionizing radiations just beyond visible light, can cause skin damage, including sunburn and increased risk of skin cancer. UVC rays are used for sterilization while UVA and UVB affects skin pigmentation. Then comes the visible light, the portion of the electromagnetic spectrum visible to the human eye. It is non-ionizing and generally safe at normal exposure levels. Infrared radiation, experienced at heat, used in thermal imaging and heaters. It is non-ionizing but can cause thermal damage with high intensity exposure. Microwaves, used in microwavable ovens, communications, example radar, satellite transmission and medical treatments, and can cause heating of tissues and is absorbed by water molecules. Radio waves, the lowest energy form of electromagnetic radiation used in communication technologies. Example radio, TV, mobile phones, non-ionizing and generally safe. Then talking about radiation interaction with matter, it can be direct effect or indirect. Direct effect radiation therapy directly interacts with critical molecules like DNA within the cell, causing ionization or excitation. Whereas indirect effect, in which radiation interacts with water molecules to create free radicals which can then damage important biological molecules. Then talking about biological effects of radiation, it can cause skin burns and tissue damage. High doses of radiation can cause skin erythema, that is redness, blistering, or even necrosis. Radiation burns are common in individuals during accidents or radiation therapy. Cataracts. High radiation doses to the eyes can result in clouding of the lens, that is cataract, which may lead to vision impairment. Cancer. Radiation exposure can damage DNA, leading to mutations that may result in cancer years or decades after the initial exposure. The types of cancer linked to radiation include leukemia, lung cancer, thyroid cancer, breast cancer, and skin cancer. Then talking about genetic mutations. Exposure to radiation can damage the DNA in germ cells, potentially leading to genetic mutations that can be passed on to offspring. This could result in congenital disabilities or hereditary disorders, although these effects are less commonly observed in humans. Then DNA damage. Radiation can cause single-strand breaks or double-strand breaks in DNA molecules. While single-strand breaks are usually repairable, double-strand breaks can lead to more significant errors during repair, increasing the risk of mutations. Cell death, apoptosis or necrosis. Cells exposed to high doses of radiation may undergo apoptosis, that is programmed cell death, or necrosis, that is uncontrolled cell death. If enough cells in a tissue or organ are damaged, this can impair their function. Then reproductive failure. Cells may survive radiation exposure but lose their ability to divide and reproduce, limiting the growth and repairing of tissues. Then talking about dose and exposure. Observed dose. Measured in grays, it represents the amount of energy deposited by radiation in a unit mass of tissue. Then dose equivalent accounts for the type of radiation and its biological effect, measured in sieverts. Linear energy transfer, LET. It describes how much energy radiation transfers to the medium per unit distance traveled. Higher LET radiation, like alpha particles, causes more damage per unit distance than lower LET radiation, like X-rays. Now at last, talking about its application in case of medical, radiation therapy for cancer, diagnostic imaging, that is X-rays and CT scans. Another application is seen in space exploration, where the study of cosmic radiation effect on astronauts is seen. Then the other application is radiation safety. Managing radiation in nuclear plants, industries, and during radiological emergencies is also an important application. Biophysics plays a critical role in healthcare, environmental safety, and understanding the biological consequences of radiation exposure. With this, we end our topic.